John 20:19 through 23. It was still the first day of the week. That evening, while the disciples were behind closed doors because they were afraid of the Jewish authorities, Jesus came and stood among them. He said, "Peace be with you." After he said this, he showed them his hands and his side. When the disciples saw the Lord, they were filled with joy. Jesus said to them, "Peace be with you. As the Father sent me, so I'm sending you." Then he breathed on them and said, "Receive the Holy Spirit. If you forgive anyone's sins, they are forgiven. If you don't forgive them, they aren't forgiven." As Pentecost approaches, I know I always think of the big, exciting, wondrous story of the Spirit falling on the disciples of Jesus, and they go running out into the streets, the Spirit coming in wind and fire, and the excitement of that as they speak the good news and people hear it in their own language. It is inspiring and energizing. But every once in a while, I think we need to hear this other story of the Spirit being given to Jesus' disciples. This is on the night when Jesus rose from the dead. And word has come because Mary Magdalene has seen Jesus, and she comes back and tells the disciples, and yet they continue to hide in this upper room behind locked doors. They're afraid. They are confused. They're sad. They may even feel despair. That certainly has been what they've felt for the last couple of days. They might even feel hopeless. And into this, Jesus comes through the locked doors, and he sees them, and they see him. And he says to them, "Peace be with you." In fact, he says it twice. And they begin to feel a sense of joy that Jesus is there with them. And then he says to them, "Just as God sent me, I'm sending you out. You have something to do." And then it says, he said to them, "Receive the Holy Spirit." And he breathed on them. As I think about that, it reminds me of when I was a little girl, and maybe I would fall down and skin my knee, and I would go running to my mother, and I would be hot with being upset, being in pain, maybe even being mad, being sad. And my face would be hot and wet with tears and probably sweat. And my mother would wipe my face, and then she would breathe on me. She would blow her breath on me to cool me off and to calm me down. And then she would look at my knee, and she would wipe it, and she would blow on it, kind of like a healing breath on my knee. And I think of that as Jesus breathed on them the Holy Spirit, as it calmed their fears, as it gave them hope, as it healed their despair. Peace be with you. Sometimes we need to remember that Jesus breathes the Spirit into us, that we can experience the Spirit in us just in our breath. Yes, there's the mighty empowering of the Spirit that comes with the story of Pentecost, but this story of the coming of the Spirit reminds us that in our quiet fears, sorrows, grief, even anger and despair, the Spirit comes even in our breath as we feel the healing, empowering breath of Jesus on us. Peace be with you.